What's up, you guys? How goes it? I'm sure everyone's wondering, okay, what happened? Are you okay? Are you alive? You know what I'm saying? Uh, right now, my head, I'm just kidding. But for real, I don't know. I'm trying to like make light of a terrible situation. Figure out how I can sort of, I don't know, just shake back. Um, I guess the biggest thing is just to describe what was happening. It was raining pretty much all day, and so I'm driving. I have a pretty big truck. So I'm driving down the interstate. You know, almost home. I'm maybe like 10 minutes from my house, if that much. Like real close to my house. So I get on the interstate. I'm driving. There's the exit, so I go to take the exit. And as I'm like getting over, I feel the truck like kind of sliding, but like it's a turn. I'm like, okay, I just gotta, hold on. It starts to slide even more, and it starts to slide, and then next thing you know, I'm in the car like this, holding onto the steering wheel, and the car goes. So like I was in the car driving, and it slid, and like by me trying to take control of the wheel, the whole car just spun around and then hit up against the railing, and it was like, it was wild. Yeah, I'm just like, what the freak? Like, are you serious right now? And like, I'm just in the car like, oh bro, what's going on? Like, what is really happening right now? Like, so I try to turn the car on, like, zzz, but the car was already on. But like, I don't know, I'm not thinking, so I'm trying to turn the car on, and it's like nothing's happening. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So I turn it off, and as I turn it off, then I get out of the car, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh. Like the back part of the truck, like the driver's side, the rear part of the truck where the bed is like dented in. The gas can is all bent. The railing, like there's pieces of wood and metal and railing everywhere. I'm just like, I just don't know what to do. And there's not like, I don't know. Most of the time, I got like an idea of what I need to do whenever something goes wrong. But in that moment, all I could think about was, damn, I don't know what to do, and I need to call my mama. So I just like call my mama. I like call on the phone. She's like, it's maybe like 10 something at night. She's talking to me. She's like, are you like, what's up, Brandon? And I'm like, yeah, I got good news and I got bad news. The bad news is, the good news is I'm alive. The bad news is I think I just got in an accident. So she's like, what happened? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But the car like, it's like, the truck's messed up. And so I'm calling her, talking to her, and she's like, did you call the police? Have you called the tow truck? And so I was like, no. And so she was like, well, you need to call them. So I'm like, okay. So, you know what I'm saying? If you've never been in an accident before and you get into one, hope not, pray not. I don't wish that upon anyone. But should it ever happen to you, the first step, you know what I'm saying? You call the police. Definitely can call your mom and them and your peoples. But my mom wasn't that helpful. She was helpful because she told me what to do. So I'm not going to put it like that. But she told me to call them. So I called them. Let the dispatcher know your name. Let them know where you are. If you're okay. If there's any other people involved. If there's like if the road needs to be blocked off type stuff, that's just the information they're gonna ask. So if you already know, you could like help yourself, help them, help you type stuff. But yeah, so I called them, I talked to them. They say, okay, cool, we're gonna send someone out. So from there, it goes to my mom suggested I call the tow truck. So this is very interesting. I call the tow truck, and so they're like, yeah, we charge this much minimum, and then we charge this much by mileage. So yeah, if you want us to do it, we can come out. But the police sometimes have people that they call. So if you want to wait for them, you could go with them, and then your insurance might cover it. So key part, Thankfully, I have insurance, so you should get at least bare minimum. Like, I think it's called liability, limited liability. So like if you hit someone else's car, at least they'll be straight and you don't have to pay for that. But I didn't hit anyone's car. There was no one else involved in the accident. It was because the car hydroplaned. But yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll wait for the police to get here. And when the police get here, then I'll just figure it out about the tow truck. So I'm waiting, sitting and standing on the side of the road. I really don't want to get back in the truck because, like, I don't know. I just saw my life flash before my eyes type. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is crazy how close. One, how many things could have went wrong. Two, how close to death I was. And three, like, I just was shaking, you know? Like, it was cold out, it was raining, like, terrible rain. Like, so much rain that, like, people probably honestly shouldn't be out driving. And it's now making me reconsider ever doing anything on a day where there is rain. Like, I think I'm gonna just stay home forever, you know? Like, never ever leave again. That's a joke, trying to make light of a bad situation, but for real, though. Definitely can't be driving in the rain. I don't know. I gotta, you gotta take something from this. And the lesson I learned is appreciate life and don't maybe not drive in the rain. So the police officer gets there and, it's two of them. One looks like he's kind of tall, he's white. The other one's kind of, he's a tad bit shorter and he looks like he might be Hispanic. And so, yeah, he comes over, they're talking to me, and they're like, yeah, so what happened? And I'm like, well, I was driving the car hydroplane, and it spun out and hit the railing. And he's like, oh, so you were coming up the interstate? And I was like, what are you talking about, bro? I just told you, I was coming off the interstate, trying to get onto college, and the car spun. And he's like, well, I don't get how your truck got like this. And I'm like, well, it hydroplaned, spun around, hit the railing. He's like, okay, man. And so, he was like, he wasn't very helpful. Like, the vibe he gave me was like, type, like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I feel like in a traumatic moment, I want to be met with like some type of kindness, some type of understanding, but maybe he's just like desensitized to it, like maybe he sees Rex all the time and he's just like, yeah, here's another one. But here I am thinking like, wow, I really could have died, bro. And you over here just kind of, like, I don't know, just being weird. So we get past that or whatever. He's like, you got your license, registration, proof of insurance. I got all three again, very important. Make sure you have your license on you. Make sure you have your registration. Make sure you got proof of insurance. So yeah, when you got all these things, I just give it to them. They take it, go run it, and I guess start filling in whatever they fill in. Check to see if I'm a wanted man. Funny story. I was driving someone's car because they couldn't drive, and I had got a ticket, and then they never paid me for that. So with them not paying me for that ticket, I kind of forgot about it, and then it was like the day of, it was due, and it was actually the day after it was due. I found the ticket, and I ended up hurrying and paying it, but had I not paid it, I probably would have had a warrant out for my arrest. So then, me being in this car wreck would have gotten me two things. One, my car would have been wrecked. And two, I would probably had a wrecked car and probably going to jail. So if ever, someone pushes a ticket off on you, make sure you get your money, because and make sure you pay that ticket, because they can start putting warrants and bench warrants and stuff out for your arrest, bro. And that's not what you want. So luckily I had paid that off, so there was no real problem. But I was also thinking like, damn, what if, like, I don't know, like something weird happened with the system and the system didn't know that I paid it, and like they still was like, yeah, you still gotta go. And I was just like, that would be the last thing that I need. So thankfully, that did not happen. What else? Just so from there, they come back, they present me the stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is cool. It's not cool. He's like, he's like, everything's good. And I'm like, everything's not really that good. And he's like, yeah, my bad. That was a poor choice of words, but I'm saying, you're okay, you know, you're out of the street, so everything's good, we're gonna go now. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, you know, because he wasn't really there in the first place. He's like, you can wait in your car. And I'm like, I don't really want to wait in the truck right now. Can I, like, you know, stand out or something, just because, like, you know, you in this truck, right? I just saw my life flash before my eyes in this truck, and every second that I was in the truck was just a further kind of reminder, like, damn, I really just almost died in this truck. Like, and imagine if, like, I don't know, my phone had fallen and I got, like, pinned in, or I wasn't able to call anyone, and all I would have just did was die alone in a truck. And I was just like, this is crazy. And I can honestly say, for like the first time in, like, I don't know, like, what, 3 years, I like full on cried. Like, like real freaking tears came from my eyes, and like the pain of my soul like just like came out. And I had never done that. Like, I feel like I haven't cried in like at least 3 years. Maybe one. I might be capping. That's a bit extreme. Maybe, like, you know, I almost cried last year just with everything going on, but I didn't. And this definitely brought those tears and all those emotions that was under the surface out. So around that time, the tow truck pulls up. So he's like, yeah, you know, whoop-de-doo whoop. I'm like, okay, cool. I can pay you now. He's like, don't worry about it. We'll tow it to your truck, to any place. I asked him to tow it to my residence, so at least I could get the stuff out of there and then figure out something to do with the truck from there, as opposed to leaving it there or taking it to like a junkyard or something, then having to get to the junkyard. But I don't know. Maybe someone knows a better place to tow it or something like that. If you do, maybe comment below. I don't know. So around that time, my mom and my grandma pull up. And so they walking over, they're talking to me, they're like, are you okay? Everything's gonna be all right. You know, just trying to console me. And it was nice to see them, but in that moment I also realized, like, I don't know, there's only so much that they could do. So like, they're talking to me, and then they're talking to the man, and then they basically just like keep repeating everything the man repeats to me as if I don't understand. And it just started to be like, give me some time to breathe. And I think that that's the biggest thing. Like, everything happens, but like it keeps happening back to back, right? So you're gonna be in a nonstop process of people talking to you, people asking you what happened. You're gonna have to constantly kind of relive the trauma at least 5 to 10 times, like, no cap. And then from there, they're gonna ask you multiple times, I guess, to make sure like they know what happened and to see if you stay consistent. But I don't even know, like, but you for sure, you're gonna definitely keep repeating it over and over and over. So if you got a bad memory, or, you know, if you want to just write it down, and just so you know what you gotta say and what you said. But just be prepared for that. Outside of that, I think that, you know, it was nice though to see my family. You know, it was just great because like they came out for me and they just picked me up, took me to my place, and just, yeah. So overall, I'm grateful to be alive. It was a very traumatic experience, but, you know, it wasn't my time. So since it wasn't my time, I'm just keep doing what I gotta do and be grateful. There's a GoFundMe in the bio. If you wanna, you know what I'm saying, if you can help out any way you can, that'd be cool. Thank you.